This is Kim, and this is a video explaining why there's a gap in my timeline of walking the destiny process of self-forgiveness and self-honesty and self-corrective application, the process of self-change that I have been or should have been walking since 2008. That's when I made my first videos, my first vlogs, and then somewhere at the end of 2008 I sort of dropped out. I mean, I was nowhere to be found, and then I popped back up around 2011, beginning or mid 2011. So the reason for that is because I fell in my process, meaning that I found an excuse to not participate within self-honesty anymore, within Destiny anymore, because at some point I didn't feel good anymore about what I was doing, so I made up all sorts of excuses for why I shouldn't participate anymore. Believing that I wasn't worthy of participating again in Destiny, I actually continued to fall. I mean, to basically do stuff, building up this entire mind consciousness construct inside myself again, like creating relationships and participating within relationships in a self-dishonest way, wherein I actually saw inside of myself what I was doing, but I wasn't stopping myself because I thought I wasn't worthy of actually standing up again. And that's why I completely isolated myself and shut off from everything that had to do with Destiny completely, because I was afraid of what people may think of me, because they would see my dishonesty, and I didn't want to actually reveal myself as the dishonest nature of myself. I wanted to be able to feel good about myself, so therefore I had to create a bubble to experience myself in a bubble reality, like relationships, wherein I basically shut off all the things that would confront me with myself and what I'm actually doing, which would be Destiny. Because I knew that if I looked at those videos and I actually participated in it, I would have to be self-honest, and I was too afraid of that. I was too afraid of myself. And then obviously after about 2 years of building up this bubble reality of selfish, self-involved, energetic reactions within relationships, I got to a point again where I did not feel good about my situation, because everything had accumulated to experiences of absolute, anger and frustrations within myself, wherein I just saw that I have to stop this, because there's just no living like this anymore, so I had to stand up, and because I drove myself to a point of having to let go, there's no chance of hiding anymore, and yeah, so that's what I did. And I enrolled myself into the Destiny I process. So that's what I'm walking now since a few months, and I'm back to vlogging and blogging and participating on the Desteni Forum and participating with everything, like self-forgiveness, and it's given me this renewed, clear feeling, like I feel good about myself again, and I've been starting to feel good about myself again ever since I started to participate in Destiny again, because I'm not hiding anymore, so that's like a relief. Yet what I've noticed as well is that I'm just feeling good about myself again, so I'm a lot of things doing out of this energetic experience, and I'm following an energetic reaction. So whenever I'm writing a blog or doing a vlog, I usually do it from the starting point of actually thinking that I'm going to get a reward out of it. So that's not actually self-honest, and that's setting myself up for another fall, because that was the problem in the first place. When I fell, it was that I was just trying to get a reward, and I was participating in process from the starting point of expecting a reward, expecting like some kind of good feeling out of it, so that I could feel good about myself. And then I was kind of forcing myself into doing certain things, and then I got to a point where I kind of gave up because there was no reward anymore. So I then gave up because I wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. I wasn't getting my energetic fix anymore, so I just gave up and went on another search for an energetic fix. And so I realize now that I have to really be careful to not fall into that again, that allowing myself to be directed by energy, because that will cause me to eventually at some point fall again. Because at some point when things start to get difficult, I will start to feel not so good about myself anymore, because I have to now make an effort, and I can't use that energy inside of me anymore. I have to now actually practically move myself to do these things. If I allow myself to be directed by energy, I will then just simply fall out again and give up again, because I'm not getting my energetic fix out of it. So I realized that actually up until now I've pretty much been allowing myself to still be directed by energy, as expecting a reward for what I do, and judging everything I do as good, like judging my participation within Destiny and the Destiny process and everything as good, and I'm a good person for doing this, and I'm a good person for every time I write a blog, and every time I make a vlog, and every time I participate in the forums and everything. So that makes me feel good, and I actually do expect kind of a reward and like positive attention and confirmation and all that when I participate. So that's why I participate in the first place, and that has been my starting point. So that is a point that you're able to fall and give up, and that's actually been kind of something that has been reoccurring within my entire life. Also before Destiny, is that I would start a project or do something, and then I would soon give it up and just stop doing it, because my starting point was always the expectation of a reward, the expectation of feeling good about myself when I do something, and then never considering that actually completing a project it takes time, and it takes taking practical steps in every moment, and actually moving yourself through the difficult times. And whenever there would be a difficult time coming up and I wouldn't actually see the reward anymore, I would simply give up, because what's the point? I'm not getting my energetic fix anymore. So I actually gave up consistently in my life on many things. On almost everything I ever did in my life, I just gave up, because every project I ever started, every idea I ever wanted to live out, or act out, create in reality, manifest in reality, I always gave up. So this time I'm not gonna give up, and I'm not gonna allow myself to give up anymore. I'm just gonna stand up and keep on standing, and as a self-directive principle of who I am, not allowing myself to be directed by energetic experiences anymore as the desire and expectation of experiencing a reward as a good feeling. Alright, so that was an explanation of why there was this big gap in my timeline within my participation with Desteni. So to fill it up and to also support those watching and participating within Desteni and applying themselves to, watch out for that point of believing that Desteni is something that's gonna give you a reward about yourself, and realizing that this process is actually for you yourself completely alone, wherein you have to really just decide who you are for yourself, because there will come a point where you will be faced with the fact that there is no reward in self-honesty, and there is no reward in Desteni and equal money and all that. Not in terms of how we've always seen rewards as these positive feelings, as an energetic reward. A point where you stand alone and have to decide for yourself who you are. Okay, so thanks.